Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Money Mindset Manifesting Business Show. Today, we have got the gorgeous Ilene Klang with us. She is going to tell us all about virtual summits, which is going to be so interesting to add something extra to your business, something juicy, something exciting. I'm just going to quickly read Ilene's bio, and then I'm going to give it over to her. Ilene Klang is the founder of Biz Tech Ninja, which provides tech support to entrepreneurs. Ilene is a digital nomad who travels full-time caring for cats while building virtual events and creating tech videos for YouTube. Ilene, this is so exciting. It's so different. It's so out the box. I cannot wait to start chatting to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me on here today.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've been in tech for a really long time. I kind of came to it sort of sideways, not the usual way. I was originally, I was looking like everybody is. You finish college and you're like, well, what do I do now? And I did a series of temp jobs trying to figure that out, and one of them was doing data entry and to create this little library, because I always volunteered at libraries. So never forget that your volunteer experience is useful.
Yeah.
And they asked me to do this, and I didn't know how to turn on the computer, didn't know anything about data entry, didn't know anything about what I was doing. But the developer decided he wasn't going to show up. So I read the books for the library, which had a programming book, and finished coding the database and then entered all the data. And that's how I got started. So I became a database developer for a while. And I've seen pretty much all the different things that are out there. I've worked in, DOS, Windows, Mac systems, the internet, all of the different systems that have come along over the years. And one of the things that I discovered kind of by accident again is events. And I ran an event at my old corporate job, and my job was to figure out how to do an online registration for about 3,000 people.
Wow. Oh,
And
wow.
I discovered I really loved it. I really
Wow.
enjoyed figuring out the events. And that's led me into learning about virtual summits and helping my clients implement their virtual summits. And one of the things I see when you do virtual summits is that people have this idea that it's one thing, and it's not really one thing. It's multiple things. It's a mix of, yes, it'll grow your email list. Yes, you might make some money, but here's the real thing: you meet people, you make connections and collaborations that last, and that is actually more important than anything else, because that will
Right.
lead you down the line of collaborations that'll help you do different things, help you become a speaker with people that you've met, get your name out to other people. It actually grows your business way more than all the other stuff that people think about summits. And that's the secret. That's the secret sauce. And people don't understand that's the secret sauce, and they're busy trying to figure out, how do I get a little bit more revenue? How do I get more emails on my list? How do I find that speaker with the 100,000 email list? That None of that matters. Honestly, none of that matters. What matters is that you get speakers that you connect with. Because if you connect with them, your audience connects with them, then
Yeah.
you now have these people to connect with forever, and they will then lead you down a path that's, you don't even know where that's going yet. But I promise you
Wow.
it's a good one.
Yeah, Ilene, about 2, 3 weeks ago, I was a speaker on a summit, and the hostess still chats to me today. Well, she still looks at my content, and she still goes, if I post the interview, she's like, oh, it's on my watch list. And it's so true. It's that collaboration of someone that you had no idea that you would connect with somewhere across the world. It is beautiful. I think it's just a very different relationship to um the one-on-one, knowing the person. I think it's very special. But tell me, a very new business owner, could they host a summit? Like when I think of these summits, I think of a Tony Robbins summit, right? And he's got tens of thousands of people joining. So even just the idea of how do you get all these people joining, never mind all the speakers. So as a new business owner, would you say that is even possible for them?
Absolutely. I have had people who have an extremely small list, under 100 people, run
Wow.
a summit, right?
Wow.
Because it isn't their list, it's their connections. It's them being brave, stepping up and asking people who they see out there that they would love to have on their summit, who say,
Wow.
yeah, that sounds great. I'd love to be on your summit. Not only that, I've had people who are new to it get sponsors. The sponsorship is a
Really?
relatively new thing where people will pay to be not maybe it's being a speaker who also is a sponsor, but it doesn't have to be. By the way, I've sponsored and not spoken at events,
Okay.
but what it does is it puts your name up front. So on the registration page and the emails, that sponsor gets a little bit of, hey, don't forget this person. And they get clicks and they get likes and they get connections. And like I said, this is all about connection and collaboration. So it's really not about your list. It's more about your connections. So if you have good list of connections and you know people in your industry that fit into the topic that you want to have your summit on, you can bring people in that will help bring more people in. So bringing the right speakers in, and don't be afraid to ask. This is a
Yeah.
thing that I think people are afraid. Don't be afraid to ask, because it turns out that you'd be surprised how many of these people don't get asked, right?
Yeah.
People think they're too big, and so they don't get asked, and they want to speak. They want to speak at events, and they're happy to come to your event and speak, and it will bring people in.
So you're saying they would share the link for people to join the summit into their audience, and then that grows your audience. I see. That's great. And then just a random question. How many days would you do a summit? Would you just do it for one day? Because I almost feel like a 3-5 day summit, people start dropping off, right? So they don't get to see everything. What would you suggest if someone had to start up? Would you do like a 1 day summit for how many hours?
I've done those, and I think a 1 day summit might be a great way to sort of kind of put your toe in the water, right? Get started,
Right, right.
get a feel for it. And it's a little easier and not have quite so many speakers that way. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the, the, the difference when you have, to be honest, here, the two things that complicate things. One is multiple days, and two is how many speakers you have. Those are the
Okay.
two biggest complications, because that requires a lot of extra work
Mm,
for all of those things.
mm.
If you do a 1 day, maybe you have 4 speakers or 5 speakers, you just have a nice short thing, then you could maybe do something live. You could have a live summit versus recorded. What happens when they get
Oh,
larger is people do it all recorded. If you only have maybe four
really?
speakers, you could do it all live, and then maybe even have a panel discussion at the end and bring people on Zoom, or offer like a VIP access. Come to our panel discussion. This is our VIP type of deal,
Sure.
and now you get to ask the speakers things. I went to something like that once, and honestly, the best part was getting the chance to be in there and talk to the speakers, because I had a question for somebody on the
Yeah.
speaker panel, and they were so kind and helpful and answered my question, and I really enjoyed it. And I still remembered, and it's like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, right?
Wow.
So that's that. If you're making it memorable, that's what you want. You want to make it memorable. You want to make it that people are like excited and they want more. And now they're like, okay, when are you having the next summit? Because we really like what you did.
Wow.
And
Right.
I,
Right.
I, I mean,
Right.
I go back to summits that people put on. I will go back to their summit over and over again. And the other thing is, once somebody comes in and they like it, they'll be excited about the next summit, and they're much more likely to buy the all access pass.
Yeah,
So
I was
now
just
you
going to ask.
start with, right, they're going to start with the free, and then they're
Right.
like, wow, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't I buy the pass? Oh,
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that. When they see it again, they're like, oh, I got to get in. I got to get the pass. I got to do it all right now, because now they know you, right?
So your all access pass will be your VIP ticket to speak to the
Yes.
speaker at the end, right? And like, would there be a right price point for that, or do you honestly just go with a gut feeling, whatever's just right for you?
There's a lot of different ways to look at that, right?
Yeah.
So the all access pass is usually a copy of all the recordings, and that you
Oh,
get full access to. And often you get it before the actual summit begins. Maybe not very long before, but a little bit before. You also, I'm seeing a lot of is people put all of the speakers in a audio in a podcast, so you can download it to your phone into whatever podcast program you like, and then you can listen to it. Personally, I love that. I find that I will listen and then I will go back and watch it again. But I find that listening to them on a podcast is really helpful for people,
wow.
especially larger summits, right?
Sure.
So All Access Pass will give you that. It will also usually give you some extra VIP things. It could be panel discussions. It could be extra bonuses that some of the speakers will provide. So I've seen people provide like $500, $1,000 courses that they offer as a bonus in the all access pass. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like if
That's
you're following somebody and you like them and you see they're speaking somewhere, you might want that all access pass because they're going to offer something really special in there.
and yes. Oh, I love that. So then in the same vein, the speakers, would you charge them to show up, or would you maybe even for a speaker with a really big audience say just come on and please chat, or would you like, or I suppose you could always juggle that and see how it goes.
I personally don't like it.
Okay.
I think that some people do it. I think if you're gonna do that, you need to you have to have something that you're offering that makes it worth it to them.
Okay.
First off, you'd have to have an audience. I would say I wouldn't do that on a first summit at all, right? Because you have to have proof that you can bring an audience to make it worthwhile for them.
Yep.
What I see is a lot of people doing is they make the speakers affiliates and they actually get some part of the money that comes in for the all access passes. So they get
Oh,
a percentage. So they actually get paid for it that way.
love.
And that encourages them to want to promote more. I've also personally discovered that a leaderboard. I did this once for a summit where people were not sending out messages to their email list and followers, and basically I could see because I was tracking it how many they were sending over to us, and so I decided I was going to name everybody, and I put it in a little list, and I said, here's how many clicks and how many people bought from each of the speakers.
Love it.
And a few of them were so embarrassed, they went out and did this huge amount of promotion, and they went from 0 to the top and did
Yeah.
it. So,
I love
yeah,
that. That is so smart. Right. People will do anything for a bit of motivation, right?
exactly.
Oh,
So
I love that.
I think it's useful. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So what is the thing that you love the most about summits? Like what just tickles your fancy the most?
Um, I actually think it's you get so much like a taste of people and what they do, and there's even if there's a really small topic, like it's very unique topic, very small. It's not getting people with all different kinds of things. It's amazing how the speakers come at it from all different viewpoints, and you learn things you wouldn't learn otherwise. It's like it gives you like this understanding of something that maybe you thought you knew a little about, but now you see it from 10 perspectives, and it looks different. And I've gotten them, they've made me kind of understand like how to do things in a different way, or ideas that I wouldn't have thought of. I think we get so busy in the everyday that the nice thing about a summit is it kind of lets you have a few minutes and you spend it getting deeper into a little tiny piece of a topic that you wouldn't do otherwise. And that's exactly what I love about the podcast, because I will listen to the podcast when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And right, it's perfect for I'm stuck on a bus or a train. I
Yeah.
can sit and do all the podcasts, and I love that. And I get the different perspectives, and I go, oh, now I go back and I go, I got to learn more about this person. Their perspective was just really interesting.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. I was just thinking, for someone wanting to start up, if they're so intrigued by this whole thing, would they need a full-blown website to host it on? Like, what would they do? Or what would you even recommend in place of a website? If not, what would they do?
You don't need it. I have actually run summits on all kinds of platforms, a wide variety, honestly. And I have seen what you need is you need something where people can come to a landing page where people can register, right?
Okay.
You need a way for them the main thing is you're going to need some way to email them to let them know what's going on, right? That's important. Some method of email, some sort of a page. Does it need to be a full-blown website? No. There's basically you have a registration page, the upgrade to all access page, and then a page with information about what's going on, the schedule of events, and from there, whether it's live links to if you're having it be all live, or links to recordings, and that's it. And you could put the recordings in a Google Drive, and right, or in on a YouTube, in a something on YouTube where it's not it's private, right?
Yes.
Something like that, and share it across. It doesn't have to be this huge thing if you don't want it to be. It's your decision. I done the big ones where people are using tools like WordPress and ThriveCard and all the things for that. Yes, right. There's a lot of tools out there that will make it work better for you, but there's also lots of ways you could do it. You could do it on something like New Zenler. I've done them on New Zenler, and which is a really simple platform that does email and marketing, and you can build all this stuff yourself. And you can even record all the speakers and play them from there and share it out to wherever you want. So
I've never heard of that platform. That's interesting, because I was just thinking, okay, so maybe a landing page on Lead Pages and ConvertKit to do all your automated emails, combine those two, you're good to go. But it's so interesting, all the different tools that are out there that, we never even know about. Ilene, you said that you were going to offer the audience a nice freebie for them. I've dropped, everyone watching, listening, I've dropped the link to this freebie in the description below, but this is what it's about. It's a whole little bag of tech tools that of questions that people ask, how to do it, what it is, how to use it. It's the tools, that's what it is, that what the tools are, why it is important. But you can tell us more about this amazing free offering. I think everyone should go and click it and grab it and have a little some more goodies in their toolbox.
That's what I built it for. I get a lot of the same questions over and over, particularly from newer entrepreneurs, but even people who've been doing it for a bit.
Oh,
get
really?
stuck, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of jump in the middle and you do some parts of it and you don't get all the things done. And that's one of the things I thought, well, what if I took some of the questions I get over and over again and I actually talk about them and put that together so people would understand what are those things? What does that actually mean? And do I actually need it? Why would I need it? How am I going to use it? And learn just a little bit more about some of the different types of tools that you might use in your business and why
Yeah.
they're important.
Oh, wow. I think I'm going to grab that for myself as well. I find it fascinating. It's so lovely to learn these different things, just different avenues that you can bring into your business. And like you say, collaborate and expand and have more fun along the way. I think that's also quite important.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Ilene?
Um, well, you know, you can connect with me. There's my socials are
Yeah,
there.
we've
I
dropped it below.
also offer, yeah, I offer something I call a tech clarity hour. So if you're stuck and you're trying to figure out what software to use for something, or you're maybe something's not working in your business that you've been spending way too much time trying to fix, you can schedule a tech clarity hour with me, and we'll go through and we'll figure it out and fix it. And generally speaking, I will have solved your problem pretty quickly, and then we'll find something else to fix that you didn't know you needed.
Right, right. Oh, I love that. I love that. This was such a lovely conversation, so different, so out the box. I love the uniqueness that you bring to it. I think it's wonderful. I have dropped all Ilene's socials down in the description below. Go and check it out. Reach out to her, grab her freebie, because I think that's going to be really, really interesting to go through and just to get some extra advice, extra support, extra guidance. It's always so welcomed. Ilene, thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed chatting to you, and enjoy all the cats and enjoy all the travel. It's wonderful. It's so wonderful. You're doing something so different. I just think it's absolutely fabulous. Thank you very much. I appreciate and value your time. Thank you for showing up. And until we chat again, take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.